Dolans is originally a dockers pub, so we're here in the docks. You can see the boats, you can see the river from out here. So it originally started as dockers pub. We bought it in '94 and turned it into a traditional bar. We opened a restaurant in 1996. We've been doing food since 1996, and then we moved on. Then we opened the warehouse in 1998, and then we opened the upstairs venue where we are now. We opened this in 2004, so it's kind of evolved to what people wanted, really. That's what Dolans is, what people want. In 2010 we were nominated for Venue of the Year, and we won venue. It's Munster Venue of the Year. We won it, and that was done through there was IMRO, and it was done through the bands. The bands nominate, and the bands pick the venue, and it's a great achievement for Dolans to win that. Well, I think it's great. It's great for us to feel, to feel that vibe coming back. That because it's a family-run venue, which there isn't too many around anyway. Most of them are big industries now, and this is a family venue, and I think it's great to have a family-run pub, family-run venue. And as you know, Neil is involved in it now, which is great. So it's moving on to the next generation. So we intend to be here for a long while yet. We opened the warehouse in 1998. In 1998, we found it difficult. We opened up first, trying to get people in, get people known about it. But I'd say within 4 to 6 months, we had started getting the right acts in. People wanted. The band started liking the place. The word got out. This is a place to play, and we never looked back since that, because if the bands like playing here, they'll keep coming back. And bands that started off, keep coming back to Full House, which is fantastic. If the bands like the venue, they will come back. We would have started, a lot of bands off, like David Gray, like Cathy Davies. She started off her learning curve, if you like, here in Dolans. She did fortnightly gigs just to get used to performing, and it all works. She did a Full House there 2 weeks ago, which is great, to see somebody evolve from 20 people to a Full House in the warehouse, which to me, makes it all worthwhile, Well, some of the bands that have been in, I said, like Kasabian, I think they won Q Magazine Band of the Year. They've been here 3 times, and they just loved playing here before, and we've had a great time with them each time they've come, Great live band, and great guys to do with, We have Franz Ferdinand, Divine Comedy. We've had Bob Geldof, Sir Bob. So we've had all the big names, and go into the trad, folk side. We've had Christy Moore. We've had Moving Hearts. We've had all that type of band here. So great to have such a mix, anyway, because good music is good music, no matter what gender it is, and it's great to have. You get the feeling for people to enjoy it. We've had a lot of the big jazz acts as well. We're tied up with the Jazz Society. They do a lot of gigs here as well, which they bring international acts from all over. So it all develops. We've done exams for college from UL. A lot of the exam performances have gone on here in this room where we're sitting here, because they like having them here. And we've covered every gender, really, of music and arts. It's great to have a venue that you can change around. You can put it seated. Christy Moore did seated ones. Chrissy Murray's done standing gigs here. You know, you can change, it's versatile, you can move it around. And it works for whatever you're doing, you know, because the ambience is good in it, you know. We do tourist gigs like where we'd have dancers, musicians sit down, you have a traditional music, and we put a show on for them, you know. And that's another versatility of the venue, that we can serve food up here as well as downstairs in the main eating area, the restaurant area, you know. And a lot of people love the back area, you know, up behind where the traditional music is down here. Have your dinner up, and it's fantastic. Great atmosphere, you know. I think atmosphere is what makes it. Even for food, you need to have a nice ambient atmosphere, and it's down there. It's in buckets full down there, which is great, you know. Artist Day 2010, we decided we were going to do, you know, a big gig. You know, going music from start to finish, from 5 o'clock right through to 2 o'clock in the morning. And also we were going to, we went to Guinness. We decided we'd go to Guinness. We'd pick a batch of Guinness from the brewery, get it delivered down here from Barge, because it was 50 years since the barge was last into Limerick delivering their Guinness. So we went up the month before, picked out the batch of Guinness, just put aside for us, came down in the barge and came into the docks on Artist Day. So it just made a great occasion of the whole thing, a great experience for everybody, you know. So we had the guys who were down in the barge 50 years ago arrived down on the barge, and we had dinner with them downstairs and traditional music in the bar started at 5 o'clock. Artist Day rang in, and then we had bands starting up here at 6:30, 7 o'clock, right through. So we had 5 or 6 bands here, and we had 5 bands out the back. And it was just a magic. 6:68 a.m. with the barge that came down is a guy who owns it called Jerry Burke, and Jerry bought the barge when it was in a bad state of repair. They were originally owned by CIE, and it was sunk in, I think, somewhere up the Grand Canal. He took it up. He stripped it all out, redone the hull, redone everything, and put a cabin on it to stay on. And he's done a fantastic job in it, you know. And he's part of the Waterways Heritage Boats Association, and he'd be one of the top guys in it, you know. I heard some great stories from the guys in the barges who were around them and where they went, and like they came down when we came down from the lake down around down to the Shannon. They were looking at all the areas that they'd been, so it wasn't like that when we were here. Now it's all, you know, it's trees and things grown, because 50 years is a long time for growth yet. So they were amazed at the whole change and the look of the place from what it was, coming down through Arden Crush and all these places. It was a fantastic trip we had down to, you know? And great to see these guys, you know. These guys probably aren't going to be around forever, but they're, you know, it's the stories that they have and where they started, you know, and great stories, you know.
From a suitcase in your hand, you by the side of the road. I like the silence, there's nothing more to do. I got nothing more to say. I will go on. Hearts on the run.
I think Artist Day, I think from Ireland's point of view, I think it's fantastic to have this day like a Paddy's Day, and like commercially for Guinness, well then fine, but I think for Ireland commercially it should be embraced and taken out, because it wasn't just in Ireland, it was all over. It's all over the world, and the amount of money that Guinness are putting into actually sponsoring the whole thing and making this Guinness live now is fantastic. And I think Paul Falchi want to wrap their arms around it and get a hold of it and embrace it, you know. I think it's a great thing for the future. Great Artist Day. The bands were fantastic, and everybody had a ball. It was just brilliant, you know. We're looking forward to next year. We're going to do bigger and better next year and keep going forward. And I think it's a fantastic day, and it was a great vibe. Everybody loved the whole session. It was fantastic.